Right, okay, today we're just going to work on the sequences. Sequences is meant to be in the GCSE syllabus next in the boosters, but there aren't any boosters that really apply to IGCSE maths. So this stream will be for IGCSE maths rather than GCSE maths, and we'll concentrate on arithmetic sequences to start off with. And it starts off with some questions from the My Maths on arithmetic sequences, the basics. So if you want to sort out the basics, you can go into the arithmetic sequences in the IGCSE section of My Maths. And the first set of questions will be based on that. But then we're going to look at some more advanced questions for the 8 to 9 level type questions, which I've taken from an old first year A-level syllabus, so AS Maths syllabus, which sort of bridges the gap. If you think AS Maths is 8 to 9 level GCSE maths, really. So therefore, we'll have a go at some of those questions straight after. I'm just going to do it all in one stream. I'm not going to have a gap between the two today. So here we go. Let's see if you can see how many you can do in 1 minute. Realise I'm giving you the wrong screen. Just give me a sec, I'll get you the right screen. Don't know why it's done that. Give you a moment to get the right screen for you. There you go, another minute. Okay, there's the correct screen. Sorry about that. That's going to be fun editing that later. Right, let's just stop that. Okay, so let's have a look. For an arithmetic series, it must go up by the same amount each time. So that goes up by 1, then 2. So this is not arithmetic. This goes up by 3, then 4, then 5. So that's not arithmetic. This goes up down by 6, then it goes up. So that's not arithmetic. This one goes up by 1, then 2, then this is not arithmetic. Okay, this goes up by 3, goes up by 3, goes up by 3. So it's arithmetic up by 5, 5, and 5. That's arithmetic. Going down by 5, down by 5, down by 5. That's arithmetic. And then we've got going down by 10, by 10. So all the top row weren't, and all the bottom row were. So you should have been able to get that in 60 seconds, knowing that an arithmetic sequence always goes up by the same amount each time. Or down by the same amount each time. So this is a nice, simple one. You can, given the formula for the nth term of an arithmetic, work out the terms. I'm only going to give you 30 seconds to see if you can do this one. Okay, so the trick of this is just to the first one. You get 2 times 1 plus 8, which gives you 10. And then the 2 times, it tells you how much it goes up by. It goes up by 2 every time. So it goes 12, 14, 16, 18. And then this one, put 1 into that. 6 times 1 is 6, plus minus 4 is 2. Then this goes up by 6 each time because it's 6n. Okay, so 6. So adding on 6, we go 8, we go 14, we go 20, we go 26. So moving on. Okay, we're now going to work out the formula for the nth term of these patterns. I'll just give you. Actually, no. I'll give you 30 seconds to do this. Again, if you know how to do it, you can do it in 30 seconds. Okay, so we see the first one is going up by 8 each time. And you think to yourself, what else goes up by 8 each time? And it's not letting me write, so I'm just going to quickly close that down and restart the app. Right place. Okay, so it's going up by 8 each time. So therefore it's going to be 8n. Remember, it's the 8 times table that goes up by 8 each time, so we need to times it by 8. And if you go backwards by 8 to 2, that gives you the naughth term. If you put naught into this, 8 times naught, whatever's left over must be the term. So we need to add on 2 to make it work. Or you could just test 1, 2, 3, put 8 into that, you get 8, 16, and you get 24. Compared to the numbers, this is 2 more, 2 more, and 2 more than these. So you can add 2. But I think going backwards one term to find that is the easiest way. And another way of doing it is know that the nth term is the formula. The general formula is equal to a plus n minus 1d. A is the first term, d is the difference. There we go. So a is the first term, d is the difference, or called the common difference, more properly. And so we could put a is the first term is 10 plus n minus 1 lots of 8. And then once you multiply that all out, you'll see that you'll get 8 plus 2. So let's just put this one into our formula here. So we've got a is 3, so the nth term is going to be equal to 3 plus n minus 1 lots of d, and it's going down by 2 each. So we're going to times by minus 2. So 3 plus n times minus 2 is minus 2n, minus 1 times minus 2 is plus 2. So that will give us 5, not plus, drop that out, 5 minus 2n. As our answer to that one. So that's all the straightforward stuff. I'm just going to give you one more formula. The sum of the first n terms, the sum of the first n is equal to n over 2 times, there's 2 ways you can do it, first plus last term, or you can have it as n over 2 times 2a plus n minus 1d. And basically, if you think about it, the nth term is a plus n minus 1d. Add the first term to that, you get 2a, because the first term is a. You get 2a plus n minus 1d, and then all you've got to do is times by n over 2. That's an easy way to remember the formula. You're going to need both these formulas to do the more advanced questions. So here we go. There's the first couple of questions I want you to have a look at. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think about this. I'll write the formulas up while you're doing it, just in case you've forgotten them, so you can have a go at these two real problems. At the nth term, feel free to type it into the chat because I think I've given you too much time here. Okay, we'll stop it there because we've got an answer in chat, and let's see if they got it right. So we've got, what was it? Starting on 5 kilometers in the first. So 5 kilometers, and then the second one will be 7, and the third one will be 9, and the fourth one will be 11 because it goes up by 2 each time. Find expression for the n, the length of the training. So we're going to have the nth Saturday will equal the first term, which is 5 plus n minus 1 times 2. You always write the formula out, it makes it easier, and say it makes it easy to remember. So we're going to get 5 plus 2n minus 2. So we get 3 plus n. So the chat is correct. Okay, moving on in this question. Okay, show that the total distance she runs in n weeks is n, open brackets, n plus 4. You would have needed this formula at the top here. Okay, I get both on the screen. Write those formulae down if you haven't done already. I'm just going to give you, it'll only take you 30 seconds to do this. Okay, so getting to the screen. So we know that the sum of the first n terms is equal to 2a plus n minus 1d, sorry, n over 2 times 2 n minus 1 lots of d. So we put n over 2, 2a is equal to, a is 5, so that gives us 10. And then we've got n minus 1 times 2. And then that's going to give us n over 2 times 8 plus 2n. and we take out a factor of 2. And we can see the 2's cancel to leave us n open brackets 4 plus n, or as they've written, n open brackets n plus 4. On the nth Saturday, Sue runs 43 kilometers. Find the value of n. This is another 30-seconder. See if you can do this. If you can do it, it's 30 seconds. If you can't, you probably won't be able to do it. Okay, there we go. So we know the nth Saturday she runs 43 kilometers, so therefore 43 will equal the nth Saturday, which is 3n plus 3 plus 2n. Take off 3, we get 40 equals 2n. Rub that out, make that clearer. 2n, and therefore 20 will equal n. So it's the 20th Saturday she runs 43 kilometers. Find the total distance in kilometers she runs on Saturdays in n. That's a bit strange. It seems to be the same question. I think they mean for this. I think they mean for this. So it's a bit of a trivial question. So have a go at that. 30 seconds. See if you can do that. I'm just surprised how easy that question was going to be. Right, so she did, our value of n was 20. We know she does n, open brackets, n plus 4. So we know that Sn equals n, open brackets, n plus 4. And we know that n equals 20. So S20 is 20 times 24. So 2 times 24 is 48. Put a naught on the end. It's 480 kilometers. Right, moving on. Okay, let's set up the start of this problem. Let's give you a minute to read this and see if you can come up with the answer. And those of you who said you can't see the questions, do remember the notebook is easy to download. You've got a link to it in the information about the stream and the video. Right, so what we got here? Andy pays into savings schemes. In 1 year, in year 1, he pays 600. His payments increase by 120 each year, so he pays 720 in year 2 and 840 in year 3, and so on. Well, I think it's a good idea just to write out the problem to get a feel for it. Find out how much he pays in year 10. So remember, the nth term is equal to a plus n minus 1 lots of d. A in this case is 600, n is 10 minus 1, and then we got d was 120. So we got, if you think of 10 lots of 120 is 1,200, take off 120, that gives us 1,080 to add on to 600, so that gives us 1,680. How to do it in your head. Okay, so next bit's 5 marks, so it's going to, it must be tricky. You're going to have to think a little bit on this question. It's a real problem to be solved using all the formulas you know. I'll give you 3 minutes to see how far you can get in it. For those of you who might be struggling, you will have to use the sum formula. Anybody want to hazard type in the chat? Right, what we're going to do is you've got to realise we're comparing the sum, and we know that Andy's paid in total twice as much as Kim has paid. Let's write out Kim's problem. So our A is equal to 130. Okay, and her parents increase, so it's 210, so therefore D will be equal to 80. So for Kim, the sum to the first n terms is going to be equal to n over 2 times 2a, which is 260, plus n minus 1 lots of D, 80. And then for Andy, go back, what was he had? He had 600 in his first year. His sum of the first n terms is n over 2, and he had 600 in the first year, so it's going to be 1200 plus n minus 1 dots. 20. Okay, and we know that at the end of year end, Andy's paid in total twice as much money as Kim has paid. So we're going to double this, and it'll be equal to this. So 2 times n over 2, open brackets, 260 plus n minus 1 times 80 equals n over 2, brackets 120 plus n minus 120. Now, straight away we can cancel something. We've got a common factor both sides of n over 2. Now, I normally say never cancel common factors. Well, if you cancel n over 2, all it is losing the solution where you got n equals 0. So before they even started, which is a trivial solution. So we can cancel those two out. Now, if we multiply out the brackets, we get 520 plus 80n minus 80 equals 200. I've just made a mistake because I forgot to times that by 2 and that by 2. And the reason why if I tell you how I spotted that so quickly, was I went 1200 and wait a minute, I doubled that one. Why didn't I double this one? And I realised I hadn't doubled those. So I want 160n and minus 160 there. 120n minus 120. So let's get the n's on this side and the numbers on this side. So we get 120 away, so that's going to give me 40n equals, take 500, take the 120 off this. That's going to give me 1080. 1080, take the 60 off, gives me 1020, take the 20 off, that gives me 1000. And then I'm going to, oh no, not taking the 60 off, big mistake. Let's just slow down. Well, 1200 minus 120 is 1080. 520, take off 100, 420, take off 60, 360. I'm going to take away. So 40n will equal 720. So n will come out to be 18. Why did I work that out so quickly? Well, I know that 800 divided by 40 is 20, and this is just going to be 80 less, so it's 2 less than 20. So n equals 20. So key things to do here, write out your formulas for the two sums. You'd have got marks just for putting numbers into the formula, so it's worth learning the formula. Then make one equal to double the other, like it told you, and then you just do the algebra. Right, well, where are we for time? Okay, we'll finish off with one. How long is this question? It's not a long question. So the first bit's worth 3 marks. Let's give you 2 minutes to have a go at that. close that down. So we've got an arithmetic sequence. Has the first term A and common difference D. Sum of the first 10 terms of the sequence is 162. Show this. So we know that 162 will equal n over 2. I'll put the 10 in a minute, times 2a plus n minus 1 lots of d. And I'll put the 10 in now. So 10 over 2 is 10 over 2, 2a plus n d. So I have got 162 equals 5, open brackets 2a plus 9d. Multiply that out, 162 equals 10a plus 45d. Given the sixth term of the sequence is 17, write down the second equation. Now sometimes I'll give you these questions where they don't separate it out. They'll just tell you that bit of information, and then say find a and d. They've been quite kind here and has broken it down into 2 questions. So remember, next time, if you don't get all the information, just write out what you know and then create 2 equations to be solved. And guess what's going to happen in the second half of this question? So we know the sixth term. So the sixth term is equal to a plus 6 minus 1 lot d. So 17 equals a plus d. Find the value of a and d. Probably saw that one coming up. Let's give you 2 minutes to have a go at that. Right, so all we had to do is solve these simultaneous equations here. And personally, make you do it. I think possibly timesing this one by 9 might be the easiest way to do it. I think times this one by 9, or you could timesing by 10, because timesing by 10 is always easy, isn't it? You've got 10a and a. So let's just write out the 2 equations. 162 equals 10a plus 45d. And then we got 17 equals a plus 5d. And we're going to call that equation 1 and that equation 2. So we're going to do 10 times equation 2. So I get 170 equals 10a plus 50d. So call that equation 3. Now if I do equation 3 minus 1, then I'll get a positive d. 3 minus 1. So that minus that gives me 8 equals 10a minus 10a is 0. And then I've got 45 over 50 gives me 5d. So D equals 8/5. You might prefer 1.6. So therefore, substitute that into 2. I think is the easiest way, because we're going to just times it by the D by 5. So you get 17 equals A plus 5 times 8/5, because D is 8/5. So that will just cancel to leave you 8. So take away 8 from both sides, you get 9 equals A. So let's just recap that question again. So it starts off giving you some information and you've got to find an equation to show that, and it tells you the sum here. And so therefore this is the key bit. The sum of the first 10 questions tells you what formula to use. And then you're told here the 6th term. So that again tells you which formula to use. And that's how you build up this question. Then you get simultaneous equations and you find out your answer. Right, well, good luck when you come back with your revision and your mocks. I'll be carrying on Wednesdays and Thursdays, splitting up the 2 levels. What I've done today is obviously put both levels into one. Actually, the first half is almost level 4, 5, and the second half is sort of 8, 9 in terms of the problem-solving nature of it. Okay, so good luck. Do feel free to copy these sheets, rub out the answers, and have another go at the questions, or just watch the video again in a week's time if you had any problems with any of those questions.